What's up, guys? Shawnee with Spencer's Lawn Care. Today, I'm going to tell you what you need to know before buying a new commercial mower. Let's get started. First, I want to say you need to know what you're getting yourself into. A new commercial mower is a huge investment for a small business or an up-and-coming guy to take that initial large investment and to run with it, or to take on that payment, or however you want to figure it out. Just know what you're getting yourself into. Second, I want to say, know what size mower you need. Don't buy a mower that you don't need. If you're going to buy a 72-inch, a 60-inch, a 50-inch, whatever, just make sure that you're going to use it for what you need it for. There's no point in having a 72-inch mower if all you're doing is mowing small little $35, $40 residential properties. It's not going to look right with the stripe, and your customers aren't going to be happy in the long run. So just kind of know what you need. If you have a lot of commercials, go with something a bit bigger. If you have residentials, maybe think of something a bit smaller. Also, you have to think of gates in the back of fences, and how you're going to work around that, and just the size of the mower that you need. Next thing I want to say is make sure the mower that you're going to buy is going to fit on your trailer. I've heard of horror stories of people going and financing a mower through Sheffield, getting outside to load this mower up, and it wouldn't go onto their trailer. I mean, how embarrassing for you as a business to not know your piece of equipment, but also now you have to go buy a trailer, because more than likely they're not going to let you go in and restructure your deal or whatever. I mean, I'm sure there's some way or another, but who wants to even deal with the headache of having to return a mower and get something smaller just because you overlooked the size of your trailer and what size deck you could fit on your trailer. Next, I want to say is understand the responsibility that you're taking on when you purchase this mower. There's some costs there, guys, that aren't shown right up front. You're told about it, but you don't really take it in. Like within the first 75 hours of purchasing this machine, for an example, you have to have the hydros flushed. And, to take that on, you're talking a couple $100, and you don't want to have a financial situation where you're so tight on money that your payment's coming up, you need to have the hydros flushed, but you just don't have the money to take care of the machine itself. Make sure you're financially stable enough that you can understand, yes, this machine is warranted for the first 2 years, but understand there are things that you're going to have to do for this machine that are your responsibility, like getting the hydros flushed and blades sharpened, oil changes, etc. So just understand what you're getting yourself into before you go and make that first initial purchase. Next, I want to say, make sure you're getting the best deal possible. Shop around. Go to different dealers. You may find a last year's model for $1,000, $2,000 cheaper that works for you a bit better, and you can afford it better, but just shop around. Don't be just stuck on one machine, one dealer. You may find a better deal at another dealer and be able to get an even better machine that maybe you thought you couldn't originally afford, but you can afford it. So just make sure you shop around. And also, guys, whenever you're purchasing a mower, make sure you check your banks out. I mean, Sheffield is the main financer for lawn care, mowers, equipment, stuff like that. And make sure you're getting a low APR. 0% I think I got on this one for the first 2 years or something like that. Don't hold me to that, but I know it's 0% for quite a while. But this mower, I'll say this, I put a large amount of money down on this mower. This mower is now paid off, but I paid it off through the first 4 months of last year. I originally put down a large sum, and then I had a very small payment, and I didn't like having the payment, so what I did is I just took $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, and I paid the machine off in 4 months. And yeah, that's just my story, but just make sure you're getting a good deal through a good bank, whether that's a credit union, a bank, Sheffield, whoever. Just shop around and make sure you're getting the absolute best deal for you and your business. Another thing, guys, don't vanity buy. I mean, I understand in the world we live in, everyone judges success on the new piece of equipment you have, the new truck, the new trailer. I understand that everybody wants to have new, but don't vanity buy. Don't go and get yourself into a financial situation that you don't need to be in. And just understand that with time, with this business, you're going to get better equipment. It's only going to happen, but you need to do it in a gradual stage. You know, don't get yourself into a bad situation. I'm not saying you can't finance this mower. You know, me, it was kind of that point in my business. I could have bought this mower 2 years ago, but I thought with the Toro that I had, you know, a little more life in it, so I kind of pushed it. But I also knew if the Toro went down, the engine blew up, whatever, that I was financially stable enough and my credit was in line that if the Toro did go down, God forbid, I could have went straight out and bought a new mower. So just make sure you're in the right situation.